Welcome into Bobcat Live on KFJB-TV. I'm Brandon Lewis. Dylan Doze, as well as head coach Adam Goodvin with us here. We've got the golf team out here tonight, and they're having their team meal out here, so enjoy the pizza, guys. All right. Head coach Lucas Johnson, the only one giving a thumbs up. Nobody else. Can we get a yeah? Can we get a golf? There we go.
Golf clap.
A golf? Can we get a golf clap?
There we go.
Alan Mann is here, as well as Tate Ring, as they'll be coming up in our next segment after we talk with Coach here and get ready for Friday night, which is Valley on the slate. You can watch the game tomorrow night on KFJB-TV. Of course, on YouTube. Hit the like and subscribe button. Make sure you follow along. Get alerts to Bobcat football and all of our other coverage, including Bobcat Live with YouTube, as well as Facebook, Twitter, and 1230kfjb.com. Excited to be back here on another Thursday night, Coach. It's week number 5. It's hard to believe already.
It's crazy. You know, this time of the year, every single year, we're thinking the same thing. How can we be in week 5 already? Yeah, fastest 9 weeks of the year. That is for sure. That's what I've always said. Now, this Friday night, you're going to take on Valley, and kickoff is at 7 o'clock. It's their homecoming in this one, right? Yes, it is.
Yeah, always interesting homecoming games because there's always, some sort of distractions. You played in, college, too, to kind of to bring that in. How did you always feel during homecoming week? Did you see it as like a way to kind of build camaraderie up and things of that nature, or was it just kind of another week of prep for you?
Yeah, it was a fun week. It didn't take away from where our main focus was, and that was getting the win on Friday night. And if we couldn't accomplish that, then kind of ruined the whole week type of thing. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
But I think overall it was a fun week to do all these activities with teammates and classmates and stuff like that. But like I said, at the end of the week, you want to win the game. Yeah,
that's for sure. Do you have a good homecoming memory from maybe high school, college?
Oh, not really.
No?
It's pretty typical homecoming, like what everyone does. You got the parade and all that stuff, but nothing really sticks out.
Yeah. Dylan?
Oh, no. Nothing. Homecoming, I don't like parades and not big into dances. And
do you have a fear of parades?
Grumpy. I guess I'm just grumpy. I don't know.
Well, it'd be a great opportunity to go to Valley and play spoiler on Friday night, and then you're going to turn around and get ready for your own homecoming next week.
Yeah, that's the plan. We got a great opportunity in front of us tomorrow, and I think we've prepared our kids the best we possibly can, and we're excited to get back out there.
Of course, coming off a game on the road last Friday night, you took on the Fort Dodge Dodgers on the road. Really competitive game, and final score maybe looks like they got away with it there at the end. But, it was one of those games where it just back and forth, and your team really rallied in the second half especially. I feel like a little bit of a broken record. You and I have chatted about it, and maybe people watching here tonight haven't heard a whole lot of talk about it. But just the grit and tenacity and the ability to grind your way back into games in the second half. You've done that a couple weeks in a row. I know you've also alluded to not getting off to a slow start in the first half. But I know you went into the season liking the team that you have, a lot of good character guys on it. And is that kind of just showing through that, they're that kind of group?
Yeah, I think so. I think the situations that we put ourselves in, falling behind and then being able to, fight back and, when our backs are against the ropes, being able to fight back and make it a ball game does show the character and the hard work that these kids have put in. But, the frustrating part is we put ourselves in those positions the past 2 weeks, and, if we eliminate that and we come out and play a lot faster and execute better in the first half, we're never in those positions to start with. So
Mike Tyson always said everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. And now at 1-3, got punched in the mouth. And you talk a lot about the character guys, a lot of the senior. How important are they in the locker room sitting at 1-3 and not letting this thing fracture, but be able to say, hey, a winning season is still in front of us?
Yeah, we talk a lot about we can't control the things that happen to us. We can control how we respond to those, and that's going to determine the outcome. And, this is where we're at. We're 1-3 right now, and we can either choose to hang our heads and pout and cry, or we can go back to work and, keep our heads down and work even harder. So that's what we've been seeing all week, and I kind of figured we'd be like that, We've got a scrappy group of kids that love to compete, and they're all friends, and that's just the way we do things. So,
do you rely on your coaching staff to make sure that they are, keeping emotions in check and things of that nature?
Oh yeah, all the coaches, and even not just seniors either. It doesn't matter what grade you're in. We tell them we expect them all to be solid leaders for our program, and so far I'm pretty pleased.
Steelers-Browns tonight. Who you got?
Steelers, easy.
Oh, even though the Browns, I think, are favored by 3.5.
It doesn't matter.
Okay. Even though they got Mitch Trubisky?
Yep.
Hey,
He's the
you
man.
leave the good name of Mitch Trubisky out of your mouth.
I want to see Kenny Pickett.
Well, his time will come. I'm sure a lot sooner than we'd like, but it's coming.
I got Najee Harris in my starting lineup, so hopefully he puts together a good game.
I hope, yeah. I hope so, too.
All
3
right.
touchdowns, something like that.
You got a lot of football to watch tonight.
I do, yeah.
Because freshmen
taking on
Valley?
Yep, they're playing, they started 7 minutes ago.
Okay.
So, going to head over
We'll
there.
try to get you out of here in a little bit, all right?
Yep. Sounds good.
But we've got Coach for a little bit longer. When we come back, we're going to talk to him about their game tomorrow night against Valley as they take them on in West Des Moines. We'll be back with Bobcat Live from Zeno's next right here on KFJB-TV.
Marshalltown's best pizza, Zeno's is the place to get delicious homemade pizza from scratch that the whole family will love. For some, it's a family tradition, and Zeno's Pizza is all about old-school family-owned pizza making. Zeno's respects tradition so much that they have had the same thin crust pizza recipe for over 70 years. There are a couple of ways to get your Zeno's Pizza. You can dine in, order online for pickup, or call 641-752-1245. Zeno's Pizza, 109 East Main Street, downtown Marshalltown.
Back on Bobcat Live here on KFJB-TV. Brayden Lewis, Dylan Dose, head coach Adam Goodvin for your Marshalltown Bobcats with us. And, of course, it's the Valley Tigers. Battle of the Cats on Friday night. Kickoff is at 7. We'll start the pregame show here on KFJB-TV coming up at 6 o'clock tomorrow night. Coach, one final thought on last week, and then as we go into this week, I don't think we've touched on special teams quite enough, but our player of the game last week was Yohan Gomez. He kicked 3 field goals, made them 27, 31, and 35 yards out. His long this year, a 40-yarder, 5 of 5. PATs, he's been really solid. I think he has about 4 touchbacks on the season from kickoff. So that's been a really, really bright spot for you.
Yeah, it's exciting. We talked about it after the game. It's kind of different having a very reliable kicker, and we're very happy. He's got a strong leg, and he's accurate. And like I said before, he goes out there with confidence and expects to put it through the uprights.
I've never seen a sophomore kicker come out and execute like that at the high school level. I mean, it's truly kind of, in my opinion, one of a kind.
Yeah, he's a very calm, level-headed kid. He doesn't get flustered very easy, and it pays off.
It's paid off to help keep you, kind of around. That's kind of the thing is, that's the thing. I mean, 3 points at the high school level of any level seems to make more of the difference. Especially if the other team doesn't have a kicker and they're going for 2 and then they miss. It's an easy way to kind of catch up points-wise, right?
Yeah, we always talk any drive that ends with a kick is a positive drive. You're not turning it over or you're scoring. We just need to turn those 3 points into 7.
Mm-hmm. Eli Raridan is gone. I guess that's a big name off of Valley Tigers from a year ago. He's playing at Notre Dame. He's one less guy you have to kind of think about, but it's a typical Valley team where you probably know. I mean, they seem to find athletes every year that are able to fill into those roles.
Yeah, they're a solid group of kids. They're always well coached. They don't have one like the Raridan kid. He's one of a kind for sure. But they've got speed and they fly around and hit hard, and it's going to be a very fun challenge for our kids tomorrow night.
Yeah, looking at Valley, this is not the typical top-end Valley team. Still good. You're not going to have a Valley team that's terrible by any stretch. But they haven't scored in the high numbers. They sit at 2-2, but they may not have the elite kid. But what jumps off the video to you from the offensive side for Valley?
Well, I think first off, they've played a brutal beginning of the year schedule. Those first 4 games were tough. About as hard as it could get on paper. But I'd say after watching film, I think the speed. They've got their quarterback and one of their receivers are very athletic kids. So being able to key them, locate them pre-snap and then contain them is going to be very important.
Valley lost to Southeast Polk as well as Urbandale. That game against Urbandale went to overtime, but they have wins against Waukee and Waukee Northwest this season. Were you a little bit surprised by that score last Friday night, Valley and Southeast, or not Valley, but Ankeny and Southeast Polk?
I don't know. I don't think anything surprises me much anymore. I don't really know a whole lot on either team besides that they've got some solid athletes returning. We don't play either of them, so that's about all I know.
Explain that for maybe some. In 5A Region 1, that's your district in standings. Ankeny technically is in your region, but you don't play them. It's still every 2 years, and things will realign, right? So next year you'll get a whole new slate for the next 2 years for scheduling.
Correct, yeah, and it really doesn't mean a whole lot. They take the RPI top 16 teams in the class for playoffs, and they tier you based on the past success, and then for example, a tier 1 school, let's say Dowling Catholic, and then a tier 6 school. Sioux City West, they wouldn't play each other. A tier 6 would play 5, 4, 3, and 2, but they wouldn't have to play tier 1. And if you're confused, so am I.
I love the simplicity of it. I think the simplicity is great there.
Yeah. There's no right answer, I don't think, in the big class football in Iowa, but I think that it is a step in the right direction.
It's certainly trying to drill down to a more perfect system, but like you mentioned, it's not going to be a perfect system. Do you think they eventually narrow and take out, is it 32 or 36 right
36
now?
Right
36. Do you think they narrow that group a little bit more?
I don't know. I really don't. And I think another interesting part is Urbandale's the smallest Class 5A school, and if you look at the enrollment for the next go-around, they'd be in Class 4A. They wouldn't be in 5A. So I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting.
That is very interesting. All right, so back on track. Tomorrow night, 2-2 Valley Tigers. We alluded to their tough schedule early on in the season. As you prepare your team to go on the road each and every time you do go on the road away from home, what's your main focus? Is it anything different than when you're at home, aside from the bus just leaving earlier?
Well, the difference is that bus ride. That's the time for the kids to put their headphones on and really focus and lock in on what our mission is for the night. And I think that is a benefit, something we don't necessarily get at home. We do meet pregame, but it's just not the same. That's kind of their time to get in the zone.
Mm-hmm. One thing is we've seen a little bit of the slow start over the last couple weeks. Is there anything you look to shift in that pregame to get the kids more locked in from opening kickoff, or is it just something, a little bit of bumps in the road and we're just going to keep pushing?
So we've changed some things up practice-wise this week, putting our kids in situations where they're going to have to think on the fly and putting them in tough scenarios where they're going to have to make a stop or execute a play on offense. And we went live a little more and really bumped up the intensity, but if it takes a coach to get on you, every single time to play the game of football, then there might be something wrong with you. But and I know our kids don't have that, but we're really hoping that this week of practice, kind of got us over that first half hump, I guess.
Speaking of the first half hump, you've come out in 38 points in the third quarter. Is how many points your offense has scored this season in that third quarter. Being able to come out and put that amount of points up, is impressive. But, I'm sure you'd love to be able to have 38 points in the first and second and third and fourth. Is there something you're seeing that, maybe we aren't, how do you get to that production, all 4 quarters, I guess? Obviously what we were just saying. But.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're trying to figure out ourselves.
Yeah.
It's our message stays the same. We want that consistency, playing solid football both halves, and we know sooner or later it's going to happen. I mean, these kids have worked so hard, and they understand it too. It's not like a mental block or anything. They're going out there and playing the game, and I think unfortunately that's just how things have worked out. So.
And looking at that offensively, notice last week Fort Dodge run for almost 250 yards. From the passing side, there wasn't much to speak of, and a lot of that was the defense you were talking about, Fort Dodge. But as we look at that consistency on offense, we've shown glimpses of being able to throw the ball really effectively, and especially over the last 2 weeks of running the ball quite effectively, but we haven't been able to seem to do both effectively at the same time. How important is balance to taking on a team like Valley?
Well, I think it is important, but I think what's most important is taking what they give you, based on how they're aligned. And, they're going to show a lot of different things to us in the secondary. So when we get the looks we like, we got to be able to execute, whether that's in the run game or through the air. And, we've got all the confidence in the world in our kids to make plays. It's just we've got to recognize them and then go out and do it.
Their offense hasn't been really lighting the world on fire, but their defense has done a really good job allowing under 15 points a game. Meanwhile, their offense scoring under 15 points a game. Obviously, you take into the opponents. That's kind of a factor into that when you're playing some tough opponents like Southeast Polk. But do you feel like your offense can kind of maybe, your defense can play and keep their offense down, and you can kind of be able to work it that way?
I hope so. Obviously we want to be effective in the run and pass game tomorrow night, and we want to control the game. And again, it all comes down to taking what they give us, based on how they're aligned. That's how we're going to attack them. And, hopefully we can put together some solid drives and get the ball in the end zone and, make it a lot easier on our defense.
We've seen Rogelio Soren come in a lot more often, number 21, a cornerback for you, across from Braden Weatherly. Trayshawn Brooks, that kind of his former spot. He's now in the safety position back there with Tate Ring, who we'll talk to in just a little bit. But tell me about mixing up your DBs and how you think that might help you here.
Well, I think, number one, those kids, they communicate so well together. They're all really good friends. And then with Coach Winkler back there every day at practice, communicating our game plan, they seem to really pick up on it well. And on top of all that, they're all really solid athletes. So, we're hoping we're able to recognize formations pre-snap. They're able to get in the right alignment, and then they're able to play fast. That's what it all comes down to. And, if we didn't have confidence in them, we wouldn't put them back there. But they're a great group of kids, and they're doing well, and they're getting better every single day.
How tough of a switch is that, going from corner to safety or vice versa?
It's tougher for some guys, but, I think, our guys are able to be able to play both positions. They understand what we're trying to do, the total scheme. So it's pretty easy to flip-flop them.
And just looking at towards Valley, 24 hours away, if you could put your thumb on one thing you need to see growth from the Bobcats from last Friday to this week to have a chance down in Des Moines, what would that be?
Well, I think it was our focal point all week, get off the field on third downs, defensively. If we can do that and we can create turnovers, I'm going to be feeling very happy.
Yeah, that was the big deal in Fort Dodge, were those third and longs and somehow picking it up. Yeah, if you get off the field in third down, big success.
We're looking forward to Friday night. Of course, tomorrow the game at 7 o'clock as the Cats will battle it out. The Tigers and the Bobcats coming up tomorrow night. It is our 100th year and our anniversary on the dot, 100 years of covering Bobcat athletics and football here on KFJB and KFJB-TV. Back in 1922, that year, we were broadcasting a lot of blowouts and victories for the Bobcats. Their lone loss was 6-0. So it was a pretty good year back in 1922 at Franklin Field. We were hoping maybe we'd get a game on Franklin Field this year.
That
is not happening.
No, that's not happening.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it as well.
Thank you.
Yeah. Head Coach Adam Goodvin again. Pregame show at 6 and kickoff tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. It's the Bobcats and the Valley Tigers here on KFJB and KFJB-TV. We return with Bobcat Live next.
Marshalltown knows competition. We started forging trowels in 1890 and evolved into manufacturing tools for masonry, drywall, concrete, flooring, tile, paint, and more. Today, we're still going strong. Marshalltown strong. As a worldwide leader in manufacturing, we crush the competition. We believe in our community and are proud to support Bobcat Athletics.
The right insurance agent can make all the difference. Assured Partners agents represent multiple insurance companies. They can pick and choose from a larger variety of outstanding insurance options. Assured Partners also handles life and health insurance and Medicare supplement coverage. With access to local, regional, and national insurance companies, Assured Partners will create policies tailored to the coverage you need. For more information, go online to assuredpartners.com/Marshalltown. Power through partnership with Assured Partners in Marshalltown, Toledo, and West Des Moines. How can you help Marshalltown High School and enjoy a mouth-watering burger at the same time? By ordering the Bobcat Burger at Legends American Grill. 2 quarter-pound patties with crisp bacon strips, sautéed onions, and melted American cheddar, jack, and Swiss cheeses on top of fresh shredded lettuce on a toasted bun. It's absolutely delicious. $1 from every Bobcat Burger sold is donated by Legends to Marshalltown High School activities. So, enjoy a Bobcat Burger and help MHS. The Bobcat Burger, another exclusive from Legends American Grill in Marshalltown.
At Sports Plus Sports Medicine and Physical Therapy Center, we customize each patient's treatment plan to their individual needs. What does that mean? It means that not every back or knee problem is treated the same, and that your program will be unique and designed especially for your needs or problem. This improves how quickly you will return to work or sports. The Sports Plus staff is encouraging and takes pride in your successful recovery. This is just one more reason why champions choose Sports Plus Physical Therapy as their favorite place to rehabilitate and train.
The equity in your home is power. Power to remodel your home. Take a memorable vacation. Add a deck or patio. Lennox Employees Credit Union can help you unleash the financial power you possess with a home equity loan. Consolidate debt, fund a student loan, or pay for a wedding. Home equity loans are as low as 3.74% for a 5-year fixed-rate loan. The loan process is easy. See Lennox Employees Credit Union, 1004 East Main Street in Marshalltown. Member NCUA, Equal Housing Lender, online at LennoxECU.com.
This is Bobcat Live for Zeno's in downtown Marshalltown. Thanks for the great crowd coming out here. Golf team out here enjoying their team meal. And who can go wrong with pizza, right? Right?
Correct.
Just already yelling at the guest. He didn't respond the way I wanted. Now I'm going to shame him. He's nice enough to come coach
Tate,
man
did you get
out.
any pizza yet or not yet?
Not yet.
Not yet? All right, all right. Tate Ring with us, as well as strength and conditioning and running backs coach Alan Mann. Since we last talked to you, we were kind of talking to you before the season started, Alan, and, about getting the players ready for the season. Now at this point in the season, you're week number 5. How has strength and conditioning changed from, preseason to now?
Sure. So things have been going well. We try and decrease our volume as the season goes on because their amount of volume throughout practice and games is much higher. Mm-hmm. So right now we do a lot of things within the weight room that are like 2 to 3 reps. We're not trying to do anything 5 or more. We only go twice a week, Monday, Wednesday. Monday's our speed day as well, so we sprint a little bit. We try and time the kids, make them compete a little bit. We post those times, rank them. Hopefully they're looking at it and maybe giving each other a hard time who's faster than who. Usually Tate's at the top of that list.
I was going to say, where does Tate fall in on that list? Can we reveal, top 5?
Yeah, he's
top 5?
He's a 20-mile-per-hour guy. He's
awesome.
He's a top 3 guy.
All right.
It's tough.
Faster than
Tate
me.
and I are
Faster
the
than me.
20-mile-an-hour guys. It's tough down here.
So just kind of that maintaining. I'm sure you, especially with the big guys, your offensive linemen, defensive linemen, they might be really almost losing weight at this point in the season, are they?
A little bit. We haven't tracked body weight as much as we had in previous years, but we do track their power output. So that's their speed. We keep close tabs on how they're doing there, as well as their vertical jump. If those numbers are going down, we're probably doing something wrong. Mm-hmm. We're doing too much in practice, or I'm doing too much in the weight room. That's kind of a red flag because on Fridays we want them to be at like their optimal peak athletic performance. So if those numbers are going down, we got to figure something out. Thankfully, they have not. They've actually improved a little bit. We're getting a little bit stronger as the season's gone on. So hopefully we can kind of keep heading in that direction.
Everybody give a big it sounds like you're doing your job. Tate, how much do you rely on Coach Mann, not only running back coach, but also on the strength and conditioning side? What kind of things do you lean on him for?
A lot. Like, he just helps me, like, become a better running back, become a better athlete, like, all-around player, look better on the field and everything.
How do you think he's kind of helped your game improve from beginning of the season to now? Because, you know, as we've seen you get carries on the offensive side of things out of the running back spot and then out of your safety spot as well. So, I mean, you're going both ways and, you know, you're putting your body through the test on a Friday night.
Well, he's made me become faster, stronger. I can see the holes better. I know I can run up the field better and all that. Learn how to carry the ball better.
One of the things we talked a lot last time you were on, Coach Mann, was the running back room. Now, that running back room has changed a lot. One, starting running back for the season is now a slot receiver. You now have Ace Holmes as kind of the lead back. Tate has been in kind of what I call the wild card. I remember the first Soaps scrimmage, and you're looking at the backs, and when Tate got the ball, and Brandon and I both looked, as like he might be the home run hitter. Like, you could see that speed. When you look at now this revised running back room, with Seth Smith still in their places fullback and getting some carries at the tailback, what do you see with Tate and Ace as kind of the tandem back right now?
Yep. Well, unfortunately, we had some injuries early on out at the receiver position, so we kind of had to play some Tetris, unfortunately. So we decided to move Nick out there just to kind of help his health. But when that door kind of closed there, that another door opened for Ace and Tate, and they've ran with it. They're kind of the thunder and lightning, I guess. Ace does a phenomenal job of running through tackles, and then Tate is a great change of pace player where he runs really well. He hits his gaps extremely fast, and I think it catches defenses by surprise.
Well, I think not to correct you, but I think Ace runs through people, not through
Yes, he does.
Well,
yes, he does.
Ace taught us here at this show a few weeks ago is you either hit people or get hit, and I choose to hit people. So I was like, that's my new motto for life.
So don't make Dylan angry anytime. What's it like to be able to work with guys during the week and then see that it pays off? I know, Ace went over 100 yards last week, that kind of thing.
It's all them. They make my job easy. Really, I only need to explain one or two things once or twice, and they pick it up and they run with it. It makes my job really, really easy. It's all credit to them, the work that they do. They mesh really well with Coach Bohan and our offensive line, kind of figuring out tendencies and keys that they would like, and they pick up on it really well.
Tate, I'd love to know from your perspective, coming into your junior year, coming in, getting some reps at that varsity level, what goals did you have for yourself going into this season?
Well, I just wanted to come out, compete, show everybody the best player I could be. Come out and just compete hard, play with my team that I love to play on, and I just couldn't ask for better teammates, better coaches, and everything.
And so now we're halfway through the season. As now it probably feels a little bit different. Getting out on Friday now feels a little bit kind of normal now. You're used to that rhythm.
Yeah.
What's your goal here for the next 5 weeks now that you're not so much new, but you're a part of this team and you know what to expect?
Well, just come out, play hard. A goal for myself is just to keep getting better every Friday, compete.
And then flipping on to that safety position, do you like that running back side, or do you like that kind of that prowling safety going after dudes?
Well, I like running back, but I like safety too. I love playing it. I just got switched to safety this year, and it's been fun. It's been fun.
What's the most challenging part about playing the safety spot? Because, whether you're kind of in a man or a zone or, different coverages back there in the secondary.
Well, for me, my hardest, what I need to work on better is, not, jumping close routes, first. I just need to watch the ball, play the receiver first instead of the run game first.
Coach, as you get ready for Valley on Friday night, I always find it interesting, kind of the scouting aspect of scouting an opponent like Valley or whoever you're playing on a Friday night. What's your job scouting the opponent? Does everybody in the coaching staff have a different assignment, like look at running back group or whatever?
Yep, absolutely. Everybody has something that they need to look at, some tendencies they need to find. My job specifically, I work with Coach Bohan. I look at their defensive fronts, so we try and figure out if it's an odd or an even front. And then from there, it's linebacker tendencies and to see if they do any stunts. Really, that's about it. It's not overly complicated. We try and not complicate it. But it can be kind of a challenge at times, especially when you face a team like Valley who has the ability to do both. They do have an odd front where it's 3 down linemen. But they will walk a linebacker down into what's called a 5 technique. So he would be an outside shade of an offensive tackle, which then turns their front into an even front. So it kind of changes some rules up front for our big guys.
Well, it's kind of like, I think the Broncos kind of usually did that with like Von Miller. He would be a stand-up. They'd have 3 down linemen. So you see that at some of the NFL levels. What's the challenge for your offensive linemen to be able to make sure you either, stay home or make sure you get a guy out there to pull and get that?
Yeah, I think they need to just trust the scheme. I think sometimes if they see, if things get moving too fast for them pre-snap, we have a couple calls that simplify some things. I think we need to try and slow the game down for them to where they don't panic, because we really want to get guys pulling and moving, because that just helps us gain numbers in a certain gap or out on an edge, which provides us a huge advantage.
And is that really on Nick's shoulders to call those out, or is that individual lineman recognizing that?
It's a little bit of Coach Goodvin with his play calling, so pre-snap alignment with our formation and personnel grouping, and then a big part of it's on Nick as well, which he spoils us.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're going to do next year.
Yeah. Well, he's like I told him, is like we've been broadcasting for 100 years, and I think Nick's got 85% of those as starting center for the Bobcats.
I think Nick's going to be a coach down the road. He is a very intelligent kid.
Does Nick Lucas, do you know, is he going on to the next level? Does he have interest, that kind of thing?
I'm not sure what his plans are.
Okay. All right. But your assessment of Valley's defensive line when you're scouting them, pretty good. They've got 9.5 sacks. They've got some playmakers over there, don't they?
Absolutely. Their 2 internal guys worry me a little more. Both of their edge players. They have a defensive end who's a very tall player, but it looks like he plays high, but I think he does that because he has long levers. I think he likes to use his hands. And then they have a walk-down linebacker that isn't as aggressive as maybe some kids we've seen in previous weeks. But really, it's those 2 guys in the middle, and both of their Mike and Sam linebackers are very, very aggressive, very fast. They trust their keys, and they go.
So what's the biggest task for the running backs to be able to get to that second level and get past that first level defenders?
Yep, they're going to need to trust their keys. Even if it's a gap that isn't very wide, they need to trust. They need to get their eyes to the right spot, trust what they see, and go.
Dylan?
So, Tate, Ace Holmes sat here next week, player of the game. We've had people that sit there and then are player of the game. What's the chances?
Don't be like David Santa Cruz. He got poked in the eye.
Yeah, and then he sat out the game. So how about you just go out and be player of the game and score us a couple touchdowns? That sounds good to me.
No pressure.
He co-signs it.
Of course, going in. Have you played at Valley before?
Oh, no.
Valley Stadium? Yeah, pretty nice facility, that kind of thing. What do you see, maybe from some videos, some tape, that kind of thing, that either offensively or defensively, like, hey, we need to do this, and we're going to be, if we do that, we'll be successful on Friday night?
Oh, well, we just for sure have to cover the receivers because they do got some fast players on there. Mm-hmm. Make sure we cover everybody, watch the run game fully, and go out there and compete, play hard, fly around.
Yep. Of course, Coach Mann, not only do you strength and conditioning, but running back, but you teach as well, right?
I do. Yep, teach at the high school.
You work PE?
Yep, PE and strength conditioning is my subject.
Okay, all right. So you have a full slate this time of year, don't you?
Yeah, very busy.
Because you're not only worrying about the football program, but do you work with the other programs too?
I do. So volleyball lifts twice a week as well, along with football on the same exact days. Cross country comes in twice a week. and then any of our off-season athletes come in during the school day.
Okay.
Pretty busy.
Yeah, that's for sure. Plus scouting and all that other stuff. Yeah, and practice and being here on Bobcat Live.
Yeah. Wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
That's right. Well, thanks for the time, guys. Appreciate it always. Great to visit with you, and good luck tomorrow night.
Thank you.
All right, that's Alan Mann, running backs coach, his strength and conditioning, as well as Tate Ring, who apparently we could lock it in. Couple of touchdowns tomorrow night.
Player of the game.
Player of the game. I think I've got the player of the game sheets. I might as well just write it right now.
That's right.
Hey, good luck, Tate.
Thank
All
you.
right, yeah. Tate Ring with us here on Bobcat Live. When we come back, we'll talk golf. This is Bobcat Live from downtown Zeno's on KFJB-TV.
Businesses are the backbone of our community. Marshalltown Area Chamber of Commerce reminds you that when you shop locally, you are benefiting members of our community and adding to our local community overall. You'll find local business owners are generally more knowledgeable, provide better service, and even know their customers by name. Marshalltown Area Chamber of Commerce exists to be an advocate for our business community. Membership in the Chamber benefits your business and adds to the strength of our advocacy efforts. For more information on shopping locally and Chamber membership, go to marshalltown.org.
In times of financial uncertainty, how can you stay on track? Call on someone who's invested in your success. Zach Wall, your Marshalltown Edward Jones financial advisor, is here to help you. He will work to build a complete picture of your financial life, including your unique goals and passions, so he can help you achieve what's most important to you. Call Zach Wall at 641-752-3017 to schedule an appointment today. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
McGregor's Furniture and Mattress has your mattress. Every firmness, comfort, and support level, each at a great price. Make the investment today for a good night's sleep for years to come. McGregor's also has quality furniture for every room in your home. Beautiful, comfortable sofas, recliners, dinette sets, and office furniture to help you work and relax in comfort and style. McGregor's Furniture is proud to bring you quality furniture and great service, and they are proud to support Bobcat Athletics. McGregor's Furniture and Mattress, downtown Marshalltown, open 7 days a week.
Your home is the one place where everything should be perfect, including your air. Capon & Brown helps you achieve the perfect air you deserve with reliable, groundbreaking, award-winning Lennox products. Call Capon & Brown to hear more about how they can help you feel healthier and happier in your home. It doesn't get any more perfect than that. Call them today at 641-753-3563 or visit them online at caponandbrowninc.com. Your local premier Lennox dealer, where quality has been a promise for 48 years.
Trilogy Embers, independent living for active seniors.
This is your invitation. Hi, this is Lindsay, Director of the Embers Retirement Community, inviting you to tour the Embers. While you are here, I'll show you the studio, 1 and 2 bedroom apartments, and all of our amenities. We will socially distance for your safety, and I'll show and share with you all the Embers has to offer. Call me to schedule a tour at 641-754-7000. Embers Retirement Community, 1211 West State Street in Marshalltown.
This is Bobcat Live. What a great crowd we have out here. The golf team enjoying their team meal here tonight. We have Lucas Johnson, head coach for the boys golf squad. Thanks for coming out and bringing the team along here tonight.
Absolutely, it's tough to go wrong with team pizza. You know, guys said we're all in.
Especially, kind of recouping. You've been busy here in the month of September. You've had 6 meets. You'll have one more conference invite. Yesterday, you were at Southeast Polk. I believe you got 8th or 9th yesterday. Ninth place yesterday. How's the season been going since we talked to you last?
Well, we hosted our team invitational, the Joe August Invitational, last week Friday. Had our best round of the year. We shot .315. Felt good about that. Beat some schools that we hadn't beaten previously, and then came back this week. We had Cedar Falls and Southeast Polk. Played well in stretches, but we're still trying to find that groove that we know is there, and we've got a lot of players that are capable of putting together good rounds. We're still looking for that round where we get 4 scores in the 70s. We had 3 scores in the 70s at the Joe August Invitational, so we're getting there.
Yeah, your team average right now, I was looking at it, about 84, 85, right in that range, which obviously you take the best 4 scores when you do your team scoring on a meet. So, I mean, you got to be happy. What's what's kind of, is there a goal that you'd like to be at for that team average though?
Yeah, I mean, all season we've kind of talked about that 320 number as being the threshold we want to break. We know we have guys who can shoot consistently 80 or better when they play well, and we're getting there. And so daily at practice, it's just that conversation about where can we gain those strokes.
Yeah.
That's, you look on the PGA Tour even, it's the strokes gained average, and where are those spots. And for us, in the last couple meets, it's been the short game. That's where we've been spending a lot of time working. Tee to green, I think we're playing really well. Ryan Schmidt, yesterday, I followed him for a lot of holes. Tee to green, he was outstanding. And then just around the greens is where it's going to be make or break, especially at this time of the year.
Are the greens changing? I mean, we've been a little bit dry. I'm sure some of the courses are playing pretty fast.
Yeah, we've been fortunate. Yesterday at Southeast Polk, I'm sure Jacob can talk to this too. The greens were great. Our American Legion invite, I had multiple coaches talking about how great the greens were.
Yeah.
This is the time of year where aeration starts to happen, and you go out and see all the holes in the middle of the greens, which sometimes is a bummer. Yeah. But we've been fortunate to avoid that so far this year, so it's been good.
Jacob Thiessen is with us here on Bobcat Live. Talk about your season and getting to play with guys like Ryan Schmidt and learning with from them and just growing your game. How's it been this year?
So I've been playing with Ryan for a while. Playing with him this year, he got off to a little bit of a rough start this year, and just being with Ryan. Trying to see him get back to where he knows he should be playing and where he knows that he can be playing. It kind of taught me a little bit about mental toughness this year. I learned a little bit about mental toughness. I'm not shooting quite where I want to be. I'm shooting in this 4-stroke range, 82 to 86, and I can't quite break it. But my dad's been talking to me a lot about it, and just the fact that I'm staying in there. I'm not going too high. I'd love to get out of it, but. I've been happy with the consistency of this season.
Yeah, one thing.
Go for it.
One thing is golf is such a consistent game. I've always said that about my golf game is if I could just play consistent, I'd be a pretty good golfer. But I think everybody can pretty much say that about the golf. So when you're out there, it's a meet. You're on the 7th hole, and maybe the first 6 or so haven't gone the way that mental game. How do you have a little pep talk with yourself, that kind of thing?
So that's kind of the story of my season so far. I start the front 9 and I just play usually pretty awful. And then I don't know, usually once you make the turn, you get to the 10th hole, you kind of just start talking to yourself well, all right, you're not playing bad, you are playing bad. You're playing bad, so you might as well just go out there and have fun, hit the ball around. And usually once you kind of make that commitment in your head to just, go out there, have fun, play the best you can, usually that's when your round starts to turn around.
So, Jacob, you talk a lot about it. It seems when you put a lot of pressure on yourself in that front 9, is there a way, as you kind of process and who you talk to, how can you play with that freedom you're playing with in the back 9, but fast forward that to the front 9? Are there any mental tricks or anything that you think you can come out a little bit more loose?
So kind of the trick that I've learned this season, the last few meets I've gotten off to a little bit better of a start, but just staying loose before you start playing. You don't want to start stiff. The best thing that I've learned is not falling asleep on your way to the course. Just getting there and being loose already really helps.
Jacob, you bring me to my next point is you said fun and the word golf together in the same sentence, and that's the one I usually forget, is to have fun when I'm golfing, because usually it's frustration.
Yeah.
Right?
So, yeah, absolutely. We talk about that all the time. You need to have fun.
Yeah.
It's hard to do when you're having a tough round, but the golfers who play the best are the ones who look like they're having fun.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And Lucas, when you have a player, just like Jacob's saying, I'm at 82 to 86, I can't seem to break it. When you see your players at this seeming invisible wall, how do you help coach them to break that?
Yeah, golf is a game where there's it's never a straight line to success. A kid will be hanging out like JT's been hanging out at 82, 83, 84, and then all of a sudden that light bulb clicks where they realize, hey, I can shoot 74, 75, 76 if I keep my game where it's at. A lot of times for players, it's finding that key in a short game area where they, inside of 100 yards, they're feeling like they're going to hit it inside 10 feet. And so JT's close. I've watched a lot of golfers go through that, and he's on the precipice.
And having a lot of teams historically at the top of the state level, now in a bit of a rebuilding, finding the groove, how as a coach do you shift both your goals for the team and how you coach, if you do so, when you have a different style team?
Right. I don't think we change coaching at all, but I think we change goals. And I mean, golf is a sport like track or cross country where you're competing against yourself just as much as you're competing against other players on the course. I mean, we want to beat everybody else, but we know what we're capable of, and we bring that to the table, and that's where our goals from the beginning of the year really come into play.
Yeah. So you have the team meal here tonight. Tell everybody who's in attendance here.
Oh, we got pretty much everybody. The whole squad's back there, and I know they're enjoying the pizza. And we had some jumbos, so Zeno's treats us well for sure.
That's good. That's good. You have the conference invite coming up next week. I mean, you've been very blessed with weather here in the month of September. I know we alluded to that. So yesterday was kind of the first day where it got a little bit cooler. Was it a little more challenging, cooler temperatures, or was it just fine for you?
Well, I mean, as long as you go out there and you're dressed properly, it doesn't affect you too much. We had a stretch there for a little bit where it got a little rainy, and when that starts to happen, clubs start slipping a little bit, and you really just have to stay focused, just to keep your game where you want it when the weather comes into play.
Yeah, fall golf is that one sport where we start out and guys are dripping sweat in those qualifying rounds in August, and then we're playing state tournaments where it's snowing, and we get all 4 seasons usually in a fall golf season. So this year's been great so far.
So, I mean, the challenging thing is not only are you, striking the ball well, that kind of things, but then yesterday we did have a little bit of wind too. So you've got to factor in, I think, explain that for the common person who maybe plays every now and then or doesn't play a lot, just the challenges of to really shoot down in the 70s or low 80s consistently. You've got to also be thinking about the wind and the controllables and the way, if I hit into the rough, how tall is the rough, and how am I going to have to maybe club up or whatever? Yeah.
Distance control is very very important when playing golf. To shoot in the 70s, you have to make a very few amount of mistakes. When you have wind, you have thick rough. You have to pay very careful attention to what club am I using, how far am I from the hole. How is this rough gonna play into it? Should I club up? Where's the wind blowing? Is it blowing right to left to right? Is it blowing into me? All these things kind of run through your head while you're about to hit a shot. But then the most important thing is, when you've factored all that in and you get over the ball, just being confident in what you've decided in your head, the shot that you have to be confident in it, or else something really bad can happen.
Yeah, I mean, what JT's talking about is just the important mental side of golf. The best golfers are the kids who are smart. I'm fortunate to be a teacher. I taught JT in class. I've taught a lot of my players in class, and I know that the best thinkers are going to be the best players, and you see it just in his answer there, describing.
You hear
all
that,
that
Dylan?
goes into
I golfed, so I'm a smart guy.
That's not what I heard. He said the best golfers are smart guys. He didn't say golfers.
So right? You're 178 yards out. 170. What am I hitting?
What are you hitting?
What are you hitting?
You're hitting driver. I don't know what JT's hitting.
I'm hitting my 7-iron, but I don't know what you're hitting.
170, depending on where the wind is, I can go 9 or 8 iron.
Wow. I hit my 7. That's pretty good. You're striking it pretty good. Do you, putting backspin on the ball, all those kind of different techniques, is that something you're always working on to try to perfect?
Yeah, definitely paying attention to how much spin you put on the ball is important. When you go into a green where it's, kind of sloping down towards you. Mm-hmm. If I'm 170 out, I might not want to hit my 9-iron because I don't want it to roll off the green. You want you want to, in that situation, just hit a low shot that stays where you put it. So yeah, paying attention to your spin and where you put the ball in relation to the hole, where it'll roll. Those are key factors.
What's a good drive? What are you hitting off the tee?
Right now I'm not having too many of those, but I think earlier this season a good drive for me was probably 295, 300.
Okay, all right, all right. I could deal with that.
I'd take that too.
Hey, guys, thanks for coming on Bobcat Live from Zeno's. Great job, and good luck next week, all right?
I appreciate it. Thanks for having us.
All right. Bobcat Golf in action coming up on Tuesday night. Be sure to follow them along. Thanks to Ryan and everybody else on the golf squad coming out for their meal out here, the team meal. And we're going to talk to AD Ryan Isgrig coming up here on Bobcat Live from Zeno's in downtown Marshalltown.
Choose Marshalltown Community College for your education.
A quality education.
Hands-on career training.
Convenient on-campus living.
One-on-one attention from my instructors.
Earning my AA degree and transferring to university, all while saving money.
Why was MCC the right choice for me? The great student activities and the friends I met.
2 convenient locations and the option to take online classes.
The right choice is MCC.
You're an empty nester closing in on that retirement property. Chances are your plans didn't include mom moving in, but life happens and you do the right thing. Wells Fargo Advisors can help. For more than 125 years, we've created wealth management and investment strategies aimed at achieving our clients' personal financial goals. When retirement means caring for yourself and a loved one, turn to Wells Fargo Advisors. Together, we'll go far.
Wells Fargo Advisors is located at 14 East South Ridge Road in Marshalltown. Call them at 641-752-5401. They're a member SIPC.
You should never have to wait after ordering new appliances. At Penn's Appliance, you wouldn't. With an incredible selection in stock and ready to install today. Our friendly team is here to help you pick the perfect set to match your style. And let our professional technicians install and set up your new appliances, often delivering the very next day. Stop in today, see all the new features, and find your new look at Penn's Appliance. For sales and service of everything appliance, go see the Pence team.
Since 1967, Jensen Ford Lincoln has served generations of families around central Iowa. Quality vehicles, professional service, knowledge of our product, that's a part of Jensen. But what's more important to us is a trust that is passed down from every generation. Jensen Ford Lincoln wants to serve your family. We want to be there for your first car, we want to be there for your family SUV, and we want to see you drive away in the Mustang you always dreamed of. At Jensen, we want to be here for you now and every mile along the way.
Here on KFJB and KFJB-TV, as of course we are streaming on YouTube on our YouTube channel. Be sure to just search for KFJB-TV and hit the like and subscribe button, and make sure you get those notifications for everything coming up, which including tomorrow night, 6 o'clock, we will get the pregame show going, as it is Marshalltown at Valley, and kickoff at 7 o'clock here on KFJB-TV. Ryan Isgrig, Activities Director, as well as Dylan Doze, alongside us here on Bobcat Live from Zeno's in downtown Marshalltown. Ryan, a lot of different news items that we definitely wanted to talk to you about, but one that was definitely in the news this week is the new facilities upgrades, which expands from everything from new turf at the football stadium to storm shelter / locker rooms, things of that nature. About a little over $9.5 million project that you guys are looking at. I'm sure not only are you excited, but looking forward to kind of envisioning this project, right?
Absolutely. Something that's been in the works for a long time, before I've even been here. So it's really good to see it get momentum again. Obviously, it could be a tremendous upgrade for our sports teams, but also our fine arts teams, our PE program, and the entire community. So, and of course, don't forget a new press box. We got to take care of you guys up there.
Yeah. I have some ideas. I have some thoughts.
So, picture this. I'm sure you're driving in a Mercedes probably down Bobcat Boulevard.
Okay.
How nice all those facilities are with the new wrestling room, the roundhouse, the new stadium, tennis courts. it will be something that gets hopefully everyone really excited.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's one thing I will talk about. Brandon and I are lucky enough as we go and travel and broadcast around, we get to talk to a lot of different people from different high schools. And when you look at the Roundhouse, incredible facility. You look at the Fine Arts and that upgrade, incredible facility, tennis courts, award-winning. And now you can kind of look at the progression, so it made a lot of sense that the football field is next. And you talked a little bit of the community, but what we always see is high school sports, especially in Marshalltown, one high school, almost 30,000 people. They're the source of a great sense of pride, especially in the athletic programs. So how do you envision that building community pride as we continue to develop these facilities?
Yeah, it'll definitely make a huge impact on that, I think. Believe it or not, I do think some people will judge a community based on their facilities at a high school.
I'm positive they will.
I'm positive they will.
Yeah, 100%.
So, it'll be tremendous. And you touched on it too. The auditorium, just everything down Bobcat Boulevard, and it'd be a huge upgrade for our soccer program as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's at least on the boys' side, it's one of our most highest participated sports. We had over 100 kids sign up for boys soccer last year, and it's tough because of course a few years ago when we had the state tournament run, we didn't get to host a game on that field because it's not wide enough for regulation soccer. So I've been there before as a soccer coach. To have a really good year and not be able to host in the postseason, that'd be like someone saying, hey, the Roundhouse, basketball, you guys don't get a host because the Roundhouse isn't good enough, which obviously would never happen. But we would definitely want that option. If our team plays like they should have the opportunity to host. And as well as the track upgrade. We don't really have a good track right now. There's cracks in it. It'd open up opportunities to hopefully host more track meets and district track meets as well.
Baseball and softball fields, would those include an upgrade as well?
Well, there needs to be. Our softball bleachers obviously need it. We'd love to have a press box or some sort of a canopy.
We would love that too.
Yeah. I know you would. So,
I have my stamp of approval on all of this.
So there's been initial conversations to get some bids on bleachers and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, I literally had about an hour and a half conversation with a gentleman. We were driving to an event about these very things, not specifically this project, but the need and the kickback and the kind of the investment that it is. And then we talk about all those things, some of the success. What do you think of as you look overall at the health of the facilities to the health of the programs for the Bobcats right now?
Well, yeah, it would, certainly would help. Again, like you said, it would help at almost any program. I mean, you could have the baseball, softball team out there in the spring throwing the marching band. We use practice in a parking lot right now, so it would hopefully be an upgrade for them as well. And I think it would just be just an overall great. Hopefully, if everything goes to plan, that would be a great thing that happens for the whole community.
One more recommendation. We either go Boise State or Eastern Washington here, all right? With blue or red turf, please.
Alternating.
Yeah.
Yeah, one half red, one half blue.
Maybe a blue track, okay?
Okay, all right.
Field we'll keep that green. We don't want. Don't they have birds that fly under their field, Boise State?
Oh, probably.
Yeah, so we don't want that.
Yeah.
So.
I will say, we talk about press boxes. Week 1, we were in Ames, and I heard, because we didn't see any food or any drink from it, but our intern Zach was able to sit into a room that they had pizza, they had waters, they had Gatorades, and he just gorged himself for 4 quarters. But I heard that's what they have at Ames, and if Ames can have it, I think we can do twice as well.
Well, yeah, we had an Iowa Alliance Conference AD meeting in Ames today, so I'd obviously been up there for their new or for the football game this year, but got a tour of that facility, so a good upgrade for our friends over in Ames. But hopefully we can at least start our own upgrades as well.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so look forward to hearing more about that. Is there a little bit of a timeline on this, on when you want to start the project?
Yeah, again, if everything goes to plan, it would be in the spring. But again, there's still still some work to do.
Yeah.
And we got to have that, the FEMA grant come through for it to really come to full force.
Things are going to pick up for you if they're already not busy enough. But next week is homecoming. Is there kind of a few big highlights you can pass along to make sure that people know?
Oh yeah. Homecoming, crazy week, but a very fun week for the kids. Starting off with Powder Puff and Powder Buff football and volleyball Sunday in the Roundhouse at Leonard Cole Field. So. You guys aren't broadcasting that?
No. We need to get into the Powder Buff and Power Puff doubleheader next
Power
year.
Puff.
Right. So yeah, and obviously we're hosting conference golf next week, and we'll have the football game obviously Friday, and then the parade on Thursday, dance on Saturday, and we'll have a freshman sophomore curtain raiser game. Freshman sophomore team's playing Valley right now at home. So next week we'll have Lincoln at home as a curtain raiser game, and then the varsity to fall.
Parade starts at what time on Thursday?
I think 5. I think I'm sorry, I don't know. Usually I'm at I don't ever get to watch the parade. I have to be there to make sure all the floats go or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't ever get to watch it. So.
Yeah, good deal. One last question for you here before we wrap up Bobcat Live from Zeno's in downtown Marshalltown. I know that we've talked about all the good coaches that you guys have in the programs and stuff like that, but didn't know if you could give us an update on the baseball program. Are you actively seeking a new coach?
Yeah, absolutely. I've had a little interest, and maybe or don't know, we're also looking for a softball coach now as well. So, but I am happy to announce we do have new bowling coaches. I just talked to Aaron about that. So we have Dustin Peterson and Nate Clark, who will be our bowling coaches this year. So Dustin will do the girls, Nate will do the boys. They were both assistants last year under DJ. So we couldn't be more happy and looking forward to continue the great bowling tradition here at Marshalltown.
Yeah, definitely.
That's fantastic. And for those watching or connected, if they are connected to potential baseball or softball coach, what's the best way to get that resume into you?
Yeah, we have it's posted on Teach Iowa, where all the states teaching and coaching positions are. The Marshalltown website, you can go there. Feel free to reach out to me as well. I'd be happy to walk anyone through that. But yeah, we've had a little interest and still a little early, but obviously the sooner the better on that. Also looking for an auditorium manager, a girls wrestling coach. There's lots of positions to be filled right now, so we got our hands full as administrators. It's not just coaches, it's teachers across the whole district, but it's a great place to work, a great community. We have tremendous kids, obviously, and couldn't be more proud to call Marshalltown home. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks for the time. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night.
All right.
Fantastic.
Yeah, go Bobcats. All right. Ryan Isgrigg, Activities Director, with us here on Bobcat Live. That's a reminder. Yeah, football tomorrow night. 6 o'clock is the pregame show, and kickoff at 7 o'clock. We'll see you next Thursday right back here at Zeno's in Marshalltown. This is Bobcat Live on KFJB-TV.